The select auto to automatically use the optional connection for parties. If you want, always connect the service. Select service only or auto service. How about now?
I'm not quite sure. Hold on. Talk. Fucker.
Where do you see?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
So you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay, so
Ooh, I'm gonna have to edit all of this.
let's talk about how it
The what?
started. Like, not how the trailer started, but how they announced it.
It
So
it seemed like they wanted to do the exact same thing that they did with Avengers Doomsday when they did that chair announcement.
I know, but it's the fact that they
Be happy.
I don't know how to say it, but at least I don't know.
Let me
You know what I mean.
praise you before you die.
David.
The power you showed was quite amazing. You would have been
David.
the greatest
Yeah.
in the universe.
Okay, just making sure.
It's the fact of how the trailers were shown, if you know what I mean.
Right. Which they wanted to release it all around America so they can get the budget up, the money, and the hype.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm
Which
not.
that's
It's
exactly what they
not.
did with No Way Home.
It's not just. It's not just that. It's the fact that, like, I know they did the same thing as Doomsday, where they because Doomsday was different. They would take out trailers for it with the Avatar movie, but this was like
Right.
every fucking hour of, like, the day before yesterday, they were taking out clips of the trailer. They weren't trailers. It was like mini clips of the trailer, the main trailer.
Which again, I'm very surprised because um, supposedly they were supposed to release that at Comic Con around April
Yeah. I'm not
instead
hating
of
on it.
releasing
I
it.
love the idea. I feel like they should do more like that, where the day before they release the trailer, they should release small clips.
Right, because the more you release these clips, people will start theorizing, fan theorying about everything on what it can
Mm.
potentially be, or on the movie, or with the movie.
I will say the only thing I didn't like is that the fact that they showed Scorpion on it.
Yeah, they
Like,
kind
not
of
in the
revealed a
trailer,
little bit
but
too
I'm
much
talking about,
on
like,
the trailer.
I'm not talking about the trailer. I'm talking about, like, the clip. There was a clip that came out where Scorpion comes out, and I feel like they should have just left it for the trailer.
Right, so people can, be all excited and like. I mean, people knew about Scorpion being
Well,
in No Way Home. There was
yeah,
set
they knew,
photos,
but we didn't know how the suit
leaked
looks
images of
or
what the
anything like
backpack.
that. Well, yeah, but
Right,
we didn't know how the suit was gonna look.
and that's what people wanted to wait for. Because when we saw the leak photo, people were like, "Oh, this suit looks pretty bad.
I will
It
say
looks kind of
this,
Be
which
clunky."
I haven't seen no one talk about, and that is that they showed us Bruce Banner, right?
Let me praise
But
you.
no one asked why they didn't show us
The
Bruce
power you
Banner
showed
Bruce
was
Banner as
quite
Hulk.
amazing. You would have been the greatest in the universe if only
Uh,
I wasn't
my
around.
theory is that
Cause keep in mind,
you
supposedly
can
there's
still see
rumors.
that the
There's rumors that he's not gonna be the Green Hulk, but instead the Gray Hulk.
Right. And he's probably gonna be what turning into Hulk probably in the middle of the movie, maybe halfway in the movie, because in this episode we saw that Dr. Banner was still injured, that he still had the gamma radiation device on his arm that we saw in She-Hulk. And I'm guessing around that time Peter went to go talk to
I'm gonna
Doctor
say
Bruce
what
Banner.
I find okay. What I find interesting is that we have. I don't know if because Boomerang and Tarantula appear in the trailer, right? But
Yeah.
is it gonna be like a flashback of what happened those 4 years after No Way Home, or will it actually have a little like fight scene, between them? Because so far they look like just flashbacks.
I thought in my defense, it looks like, especially the first scene that they shown where he was doing the iconic pose like from the Amazing Fantasy. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it looks like the Void, where probably Peter was stopping the Void, and then he's doing all the flashbacks where fighting villains. Or my second theory is that Sony wanted to do like a little similar thing that Into the Spider Verse does, where like, hi, my name is Peter
That
Parker. I've been Spider Man for like what, 10 years, 4 years, um, and like the entire montage of Spider Verse. That's my theory on what it may seem like. Either that or my second theory is probably the Void, where it shows off like Peter suffering with all the stuff and what he's been doing for like the last 4 years. Which honestly, I think it's not really a bad theory in my defense.
it's not. It's not.
So
Uh, or before we get to the actually talking about the trailer piece by piece, I want to mention the fact that in the last scene of the trailer where MJ says a friendly neighborhood, a friendly neighbor, you could see behind Peter pictures of Spider-Man. So far we've seen theories about Ned and MJ trying to remember who, or like they feel connected towards,
who Spider Man is?
yeah, they feel connected towards Spider-Man, but they just can't quite remember why,
You
or
remember who it is,
yeah. So
right? And in the end
there-
of No Way Home, we see that Doctor Strange casts the, what do you call it, the rule of Khan, the forgetting spell. And in that last scene in No Way Home, we see Peter and MJ talking. MJ remembers talking to Spider-Man, but she doesn't remember who Spider-Man is. Why? Because Doctor Strange was already using that spell. And when he did, all she remembers is why she was at the Statue of Liberty and why was her purpose there. So I'm guessing around that time, Ned and MJ are trying to figure out who Spider-Man really is.
You would have been the greatest in the universe.
That's why they have photos in the background of the trailer.
I will never lose.
I've heard a
Okay,
lot.
before we
I,
get started with the trailer, I would like to say, um, the videos that you're making and the edits, I'm probably gonna have to edit them and put like the photos that we've seen before. We can now show them to you guys. Like anybody who's watching this video, we can now actually show them because it's already like posted. We already seen the trailer. Technically, there's no more leak photos anymore. You don't have to wait for it.
well, there is one still there that we didn't see nothing about, and that is the actor playing Tombstone.
Right,
We
which
we know
I do
we
want to
know
talk
that
about this
he's
because
we know that in the trailer he's the one narrating everything that about the
talking about
spider's life, and yeah, but we don't see
the three
him.
light spiders,
That's
the three
that's where I
spider life
wanna
cycle. Right.
yeah, that's where I wanna get to the point where I say it's gonna be interesting because we have supposedly the rumor of Jean Grey, which I don't see it happening. It's really weird for it to
I
be
don't even
that.
know why would it even happen in the Spider-Man movie. There's so many theories out there that it doesn't really make sense. In my
Like
defense,
you saw that
and my
theory
own
of you saw that theory of where he gets slammed against the bus you supposedly the girl sitting in the bus is Rogue, which it's funny. I really it actually made me question it for a bit. I was like, oh shit, but
I
I
mean, it's the
highly doubt
hairstyle.
it.
Like, I mean, what's her name? Sadie Sink herself says she commented on somebody saying that, oh, would you be playing Jean Grey? She said, um, many actors can have different colors. It can be red, it can be white, it can be blonde, and that's where people started to like, oh, she's just trying to cover it up, saying, oh, she's Jean Grey, or Black Cat, Gwen Stacy. I still think it's Gwen Stacy. I don't care what people say. I want to bet my money
Well,
on this whole event that
the
she's
reason
Gwen
I don't
Stacy.
think the reason I don't think it's Gwen Stacy is because she has been confirmed to play one of the villains from the or one of the characters that will be in a antagonist towards Spider-Man, and I highly doubt it's gonna be Gwen Stacy, especially since we saw that she has those mind control abilities.
Right. And there's been people saying that, what do you call it? Instead of Jean Grey playing, or instead of Sadie Sink playing as Jean Grey, she will be playing as what do you call it? Another villain who's like a potential spider threat to Spider-Man and to other Spider-Mans around the multiverse.
But the
And if
reason
I'm
I'm
correct, what is
yeah
that?
the reason I'm
I can't
saying all
remember
this is because she's supposed to be like it's not really confirmed if she's an actual villain or just a rumor mutant that is not being considered. You know how mutants are treated in the MCU, well, in the Marvel comics and everything. So, because supposedly
why wear a
Punisher,
hood.
supposedly Punisher is gonna be like a type of what's it called, protector towards Sydney's character.
Sweeney. Right.
Yeah. So
Okay. I found the rumor that I've been trying to remember the name of Sadie Sink supposed to be um rumored character. I still don't think it's Sadie Sink because it really wouldn't match up with any of the storyline with Spider-Man. The only connection that Sadie Sink and Spider-Man have ever connected was in a different multiverse. Sadie Sink and Spider-Man were a couple. But this is what people have been saying. Sadie Sink is playing Chatara, a villain who shapeshifts in Brand New Day. That's what I think she's gonna be playing. She might be Jean Grey, um, but for some reason she shifts into Jean Grey, and then she's actually the main villain, named Shatara, who is a Spider-Man villain who's all black and blue and green. Where I guess what do you call it? She just like um tricks into like people and believing that that person is a real person, but turns out it's just not a person.
I'm saying because I don't know. There's a lot of because this movie's not gonna be 3 fucking 4 hours long, right?
No, it's rumored around like 225 to 230,
Yeah, like two
unless they
two
cut
hours
some
and
scene
30
out, and it'll be
minutes.
like yeah, unless they cut
Yeah,
some scene out like they usually do, and it'll be like around 215 to 220.
and the reason I say that is because think about it. Supposedly, if I'm correct of what I'm saying about Boomerang and Tarantula being like a just a flashback, if I'm wrong, you have one, two, Scorpion, Hulk, because supposedly there's gonna be a fight between Spider-Man and Hulk, Tombstone, and Sydney's character. So that's literally five villains that Spider-Man has to deal with. And oh, and the what's it called? The Hunters, I think.
The hunters? You mean the hand?
The hand, yeah. So that's six in total. That's technically Spider-Man's fucking um,
Sinister Six.
Sinister Six. Um, I
That's
know
a
they're not going towards
fucking
that,
deal with this.
but
I don't think so.
it is interesting that it's gonna
It's
be
basically what
six.
it kind of it is.
Yeah, six battles that he's gonna be in. Hulks, Scorpions, Tombstone. Because there's that leak picture of a Tombstone holding Spider-Man, like in the comics. So you
Right, which
have
that's the one I want to get to that. I want to get to that point really really bad because that's you know how I said earlier like the first 5 seconds of the trailer I want to point something out. That is one of the major reasons I want to point out.
yeah,
After we're done with this conversation, we're gonna break down the trailer because that 5 second clip is what I'm gonna theorize, and I might be wrong, I might be right. Whatever it is, I just hope it's my theory right. Because I keep theorizing every trailer we've seen from every Spider-Man trailer, and it always comes true. Now, I'm not saying that it might come true right now, or at all. I just want to prove a point that the things I say and the things happen, and I never say it, which I should be saying it online, kind of messed up. That every time I actually do manage to have a point, it comes true in the trailer and movie, and I never get to like suggest it to anybody else, and I kind of sucks at that. But other than that, I do want to talk about that part. So once we get done with the conversation about this Sadie Sink character, I do want to talk about Spark.
because I I don't know. Because I don't think they're making Sydney the main villain of the movie.
Now the main villain
It
will
just
probably be Peter himself.
doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
No, the main villain for Spider-Man Brand New Day will be Peter himself, where he turns into an ant spider.
Well, okay.
As we can
I will
see,
say
in his
I do
eyes.
wanna I do wanna talk about that. I as much as I love the idea, I doubt he'll be turning into Man Spider.
No, I mean I
Cause
think he
I know
will,
I
because
know.
as you can see
Okay,
in the trailer, you can
this is
literally see his eyes turning black.
I know. So
And I don't think
but
it's gonna be the
hold
symbiote,
on.
which it has been rumored for many many months and
Okay,
weeks that the symbiote will be part of.
so this is my and this is what's been going on after I made Doctor Strange forget who I am. Blah blah blah. He shows the flashback of him fighting Boomerang.